Today I wanted to do something a little bit spicy. We have all of my cars lined up here and I wanted to talk through them. Kind of like Adam LZ's video, you remember we did that? But a lot less cars. But this is my special collection of vehicles and I want to talk you through what I like about them, what I hate about them, which ones are going and which ones are forever staying, though most of you probably already know everything there is. So we're going to start with the Supra. First up is this thing, which is not my newest edition actually. It's one of the newest editions, but it is the newest car that I've owned. It's the first time I've owned a brand new car. I purchased it and picked it up and reserved it. This is the first time I actually got to get to do that, and that kind of makes it special in those ways. Speaking of the Supra, this video is brought to you by BOTB once again, and you could win one with the Dream Car Competition Company. They've given away £34 million worth of prizes, which is just ridiculous to think about. You could be one of those hundreds of people to win a car. Now, I highly recommend you jump on this as soon as possible because this week only, £50,000 will also be given to you as well as the car you win, and tickets start from just £1. And the R34 GTR starts from £1.90. And I'd be very jealous if you got it for £1.90. I paid a lot more. Make sure you get it before Sunday, the 20th of September, because that's when this ends. The only requirement is that you are 17 or older. Someone is guaranteed to win on Tuesday. But thanks so much for BOTB for sponsoring this video. The only bits I've really done to it is an exhaust and this. So it does sound a little bit nicer. There's a few things I don't like about this car. It looks great. I mean, I hate that it looks so great because it makes it so much more difficult to go, you know what, maybe I will get rid of this one day. But if any of these cars are going anytime soon, it's probably this one. I know some people will disagree with me, but I think this is honestly one of the best looking cars that's come out in a long time. I absolutely love the way it looks. I have no issues with how it looks. My issues arise when it comes to how it feels. It feels like a new car. There's a problem that I have with new cars. I like stinky old cars a little bit more, and I would say cheaper new cars just as much. It feels like I feel like I'm asking it to do things opposed to it actually listening to my commands. That would be my issue. So this is actually the second newest car that I've purchased of all these, and it's probably the car that I've done the most to in the shortest amount of time, even though it sat for half a year. Half a year you guys didn't know that I had this. Some of you keen-eyed viewers knew, but basically this is my drift car. So this is an E36 328i. It's not an M3. It's pretty much all we've done so far. Is not many things, to be honest, in terms of power and such, but what we've done is obviously the drift bars at the front. We've got the same at the back. We have a steering wheel, we have seats, we have a hydraulic handbrake. It's a drift car. There's many little things that I have yet to do to it to make it perfect, but it's so much fun. We've got absolutely rubbish tires on it, which is one thing that makes it really, I've not taken it to a track yet. I need to do that, but I've got to figure out the hydro. The hydro I need to work on. The welded diff though, the welded diff is easy peasy. There's a few things wrong with this car that need to be solved, but that's kind of the point. Like, I bought this car, not the perfect model because it's going to be drifted into a wall probably at some point, and exhaust needs doing. There's a heck of a lot that needs doing, but of the cars, I've probably driven this the least, I would say, of my cars, because it's always been semi-finished, and that's the point of getting the unit, was this car actually. So this is a car that I'm going to hold on for a long time. I'm going to do many stupid things to it. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see on that. I don't fit in this thing perfectly, but time will change that. As you can see, there's the roof sags, and so I naturally just kind of like try and sit like this. So again, it's a heap of poo. It's a heap of poo-poo, but that's okay. We have this cool ass hydro, and it's not stripped, but everything is out of it at the minute. There's no passenger seat. The rear seats are just completely gone. So it's far from finished. This is probably going to be one of those cars that's never really finished per se, and it has high mileage, so how long will the engine last? we will have to wait and see. Le Mini. So this was interesting to come across. So we were looking for a daily for Meadow, a first car for Meadow, and I wanted something that wasn't crap. We did consider it, but it was her first car in the UK, and so she just passed her license, so we didn't want to push it too far in terms of insurance. And they're like, and this, you saw it, and she was like, I'm not budging, I want this car. So therefore we got it. Now, it was used when we got it. We got a nice deal on it, and it's the one of 5 in this color, which is super, super cool. It's a Porsche color. It's called Miami Blue. You've probably seen it on a million different Porsches, but I highly doubt you've probably seen it on a Mini before this one. Very cool. We recently did a GP front bumper with a Cooper Works badge, because if you put a GP badge on there, you should be shot. This is one of the cars that's probably never going, because she wouldn't ever let me get rid of it. But to be honest, of the new cars I've driven, so this is a 2018, honestly it doesn't feel like one. I'd say a lot of the electronics feel like they are meant to be a 2018 car, but it honestly feels like as advanced as something from 10 years ago, to be honest, when you actually drive it. The automatic downshifting and stuff, super, super nice. I love that about it. But other than that, it feels like an old car. This, because it's on the cheaper end of the spectrum of cars, generally the base Mini at least anyway, this thing doesn't get many high-tech features, which means it's more fun to drive, because it doesn't nanny you like, oh, you should be going slower, oh, there's a person braking in front of you, I will stop you, or there's a animal in the road. What if I want to hit that animal? The big meaty car. This is my Evo 10. It's a FQ 360. This is the latest edition, and some of you still don't even know about it, to be honest with you. It was on my second channel, which I'll speak about that a little bit later, because I know you guys want to know, but this is the latest edition. I am very happy with this car. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. The Mini, for example, is a new car, which is like, oh, it's big. It's bigger, which just doesn't make sense to me. Like, the Mini to me is like, it's tall. The hatchbacks today are very, very tall, and this is still pushing, how old is it? It's over 10 years old. It's over 10 years old, but it's massive. I don't know why they decided to do that, and that's probably one of the reasons that people do hate them. And granted, I can understand why. Either way, it's my favorite of the Evos visually. I very much like the look of it, and to drive it, it's very much an old car. Don't be mistaken by it. If you get the manual, it's old. It does not have any new fancy features. It doesn't have anything that would make you think, oh, this is a 2008. If you've driven a 2008 Audi or BMW or Mercedes, this is not it. This is completely different, and I love that, because it just feels a little bit raw, but a little bit new at the same time. I kind of have that, I like that. I'm trying to push the edge. Obviously, where the Supra is completely new, and quite frankly, I don't enjoy it too much. Of any of the cars has caused the most problems thus far, and I think it will continue to do so. People warned me. They were like, Theo, I think there's probably some more things wrong with it. For those of you who don't know, and haven't been watching the videos on this, why not? That's not fair, please. We discovered that this thing is probably being crashed, maybe multiple times, but it's not anything major. It's just a few little bent bits and a leaking oil cooler and bent pipes. So we can fix those super easily. It's not really anything body-wise, at least that we know of yet. There's a whole lot of things I want to do to this car, because it will probably one day become my daily driver, because I just love these. I think they're fantastic, and it looks perfect next to my baby. is my 1999 R34 GTR. I missed the Skyline bit. Doesn't matter, you know what it is. For crying out loud, this is one of my ultimate dream cars. It is my ultimate dream car. If I died now, I would be happy considering that I have owned and still own this. Ha! Anyway, I don't like to look up the price of these cars now, but I would say this is creeping on. If I sold this today, I could probably get most of these, which is kind of mental to think about. I could get the Supra, the BMW, and the Evo and have some money left. Or I could get the Supra and the Mini and have some money left. What on earth? Who's buying these? Are you crazy? Are you insane? Supercar people still don't even know what these are. They're like, oh yes, I like my Lamborghini. This is better than your Lamborghini. Stuff your Lamborghini. I could smash your Lamborghini. Okay, maybe not yet. We're about 500 horsepower right now. Not major, not crazy, but we are limited by the stock RB to 500. Oh no, what a shame. This is the car I've done most performance-wise. That's probably going to change because to do things on this car costs ridiculous amounts of money. Now, one thing I'm going to say about this car is it's a little bit different to the other cars in that I'm like, oh, I don't like how new it is, but then I'm like, oh, I like how new it is, but it drives like an old car. This car is from 1999, and I cannot tell you that it feels like a 1999 car. I have driven an IS200 Lexus, missed that car. I would say this in a lot of ways feels newer in a lot of technology. Of course, there's a limiting factor here. There's no like, oh, let's make sure that they don't hit something and I will brake for you and do. It doesn't have any of that. It's pretty much just the screen, quite frankly. That's the only thing that makes it feel new, other than the hiker system, so that's rear wheel steer, super cool, disabled, blocked out, because people do that because it's kind of dangerous when you change the speedo to miles an hour, in case you didn't know that. Kind of tempted to try it though. I think it would be super cool to try the hiker system, the rear wheel steer before, because they're only now starting to do that on Porsches and the like, when you're like, it was done in 1999, what the frick? Anyway, that is that. And so there we have all of the current owned four-wheeled machines. I do have a bike as well. Honestly, I just couldn't be bothered to bring that here because that would have taken another trip. All my cars don't live in one place. They're all a little bit scattered, and I think they'll be more scattered as time goes. But each of them now, I'm very happy with. Like, I look at them and I'm thinking like, how on earth do I own all of these cars? It doesn't make any sense because I started with nothing, literally nothing, and you guys have been able to help me build this. So I'm forever thankful. I never want it to come across as I'm like showing off, look at how many cars I have, because I'm going to be clear with you, I own this one outright, I own this one outright, finance. I own this one outright, it's an old BMW, finance. I don't want to be one of those people that just never tells you those facts, but as you know, most cars on the road are financed, and it's a good way to separate the cost and slow the cost. And if you really don't like it, then you're not stuck with this lump of money in this car that you're probably going to lose money on. So I would say it's a good thing as long as you're not like, I want to keep this car forever. So there are different types of finance, and it's not a finance video, but how freaking cool is this collection? All right, let me know your favorites down below in the comments. I appreciate you for watching this video. Thanks so much. Smash like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, peace.